Hello! In this video, I'm going to go through some different example write-ups that you might need to use when you're writing up coefficient alpha results. So in this first one, what if coefficient alpha was low and didn't have high internal reliability? Do note this is a pretend write-up. I don't have the actual data, but I wanted to make sure I had an example for you. So in this case, coefficient alpha was checked for the preconception PC subscale of the Statistics Anxiety in an Online or Hybrid Setting survey. For the PC subscale, coefficient alpha was 0.665. A coefficient alpha greater than 0.70 is considered acceptable, so the PC subscale did not have high internal consistency. To improve the internal consistency of the PC subscale, JASP indicated that if PC27 was removed, the internal consistency would improve to alpha equals 0.683. No other questions could be removed to improve the alpha value. Now this is important because what you would do, you got that initial 0.6885, you would then use that if item dropped table to see how high can you go. So you would just keep using the if item drop table to keep removing items until you got the highest Cronbach's alpha value that you could. In this case, there was only one item, PC27, that could be removed to get alpha to this part. You then need to indicate that no other questions could be removed to improve the alpha value. Then you would state, even with the increase in internal consistency to 0.683, coefficient alpha would still not have high internal consistency. Because of the low reliability, it is recommended that questions in the subscale are reviewed to see if something is amiss in the wording of the questions, if something happened during the survey process, or to reassess if the items in each subscale are really addressing the same construct. So that is if coefficient alpha was low and didn't have high internal reliability. What if a question or questions needed to be reverse scaled? So in this case, coefficient alpha was checked for the PC subscale of the Statistics Anxiety in an Online or Hybrid Setting survey. For the PC subscale, one question, PC23, was negatively correlated, so we adjusted the results by reverse scaling the question. After doing this, alpha was 0.865. So note, I did not provide any alpha value until after I reverse scaled that question. So until you reverse scale that question or questions that need reverse scaled, do not list the alpha because the alpha is not valid until you reverse scale any questions that were needed. And if you're going, well, what do you mean by reverse scale? That's where we talked about up here. If there is a note. So underneath your coefficient alpha estimate table, so that frequentist scale reliability statistics, if there is a note, and it will look better than this is my cheesy version, but if there is a note like this, then that means you need to reverse subscale before you actually start talking about your alpha value. So once again, after doing this, alpha was 0.865. A coefficient alpha greater than 0.7 is considered acceptable, so this subscale was found to have high internal consistency. To improve the internal consistency, and remember, you're still trying to improve it, you would then go through JASP indicated that removing PC27 would increase the alpha to 0.873. Reviewing the if item drop table next indicated that removing PC24 would increase the alpha value to 0.882, and then removing PC25 would result in a final alpha value of 0.888. So first thing, if you need to reverse subscale, if you have that note, you have to reverse subscale first. That will be your, once you reverse subscale, that's your first alpha value. Then after that, you just work it like you would any other, where you go to that if item dropped table and see which items you can drop to increase that alpha value. What if there is nothing you can do to improve the alpha value? So sometimes there's just nothing you can do. So in this case, coefficient alpha was checked for the PC subscale and for the Statistics Anxiety in an Online or Hybrid Setting survey. For the PC subscale, coefficient alpha was 0.865. A coefficient alpha greater than 0.70 is considered acceptable, so this subscale was found to have high internal consistency. In checking the item dropped table, I'm sorry, that should be if item dropped table, there are no questions that could, So it was found to have high internal. In checking the if item dropped table, there were no questions that could be removed from the subscale to improve the reliability. So yeah, that one is short and sweet, but there you go. There are your different example write-ups for those different scenarios, and you might have to mix and match. And then if you're looking for the information for this written result, that is in the coefficient alpha example 1 video. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, let me know.